have a new pottery wheel, and it's tiny. I've wanted one for a long time, so I can take it to shows and to the gallery where I show my big pottery and my jewelry, and I can do demos. And who doesn't love small pottery? When I was a kid, I had shelves and shelves of miniature collections. I loved collecting miniature mice. That was a theme. but you know, I had anything, little miniatures. Mom would give me a few dollars and I would go to, I think the store was called the Peppermint Lion, and buy a little miniature. And it just made me smile. So I see this and I'm like giddy happy. It's so cute. Look at this. So I bought the wheel. It came with 4 little bats, and I got 4 extra bats. And plus the shipping. Shipping was about $35. It was under $250. But I'm going to be so much happier with this than if I had bought one of the cheap wheels that wouldn't work. So you can't use a lot of clay with this. If you try to throw like a larger piece, a mug or something, it's going to put too much pressure on the motor, and then the motor won't last. So this is for small ceramics. I could throw small ceramics on my big wheel, but this is so much more mobile, and we'll see how it goes. Small pottery in our future. Tiny throwing ball. Okay, boop. Here we go. And it didn't stick. It didn't stick. Ah! I think this will be the hardest part. When I've worked small before, centering something small is hard. Okay. There we go. Get it stuck to the wheel. Whee! Let me trim off some of this extra stuff. Lots of extra stuff here. It feels like it's stuck to the bat now. Good. Centering, definitely the hardest part. Eh. I think this is going to help. It's just hard to control with your fingertips, but we're used to controlling with our whole hands. Okay. It's centered-ish. It's centered enough. Now let's try opening. Hard to know how far to go down because I'm used to feeling with my hand. Oh, this will work. So I do this and then this. I can tell, oh, it's very thick. I can tell how thick the bottom is. Okay, a little water. Need some speed. Looks good. too fast. This wheel does have some power. I like it. That's as thin as it needs to be. I need to trim off the top. Little uneven. So we just trim off that uneven, we just trim it off, make it even. I need a tool that's flat, kind of just like that. Just what I needed for the bottom. Okay, yes, 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 yes. All right, now what shape do I want this to be? I've got a little clay in here. I know I can belly out. Oh, look at that. And then in. This is what we're gonna do with this one. I'm gonna make it a teeny tiny picture. Yep. I didn't bring a cutoff wire. I'm going to try some thread. I thought the wire might be too thick. Let's see. Just some thread will work. Sewing thread. Now, what's the trick to get these off? Get the bats off the wheel. Ah! Shoot. I think it's okay. I'll work with it later. And put a little bitty handle on it. It's cute. Yep. Okay, let's try again. That may have actually worked. Have to get it attached to the wheel. Oh, what the cutest little drip pan. It's collecting the water and it's magnetic. What? No, I'll show you later. Okay. And let's hope this is a little bit better than the first time. There we go, center. Getting there. Point with centering is to try to keep your hands perfectly still to get rid of any wobble. So hand still and then let the clay move inside your hands to get perfectly centered, or close to centered. The top centered. If I were going to do a lot of small pots, it would be easier to throw them on the big wheel and throw them off the hump. So we center a big piece of clay and then throw just off the teeny top. But I'm using a tiny wheel. It's like throwing the teeny top of a big bottle, but I kind of like that part. Now what do we want this one to be? Now, let's put a little line in it. Or two. It's kind of messy. It's okay. Or three. Where's my chamois? Where's my chamois? Here's my chamois. A little bitty piece of chamois to smooth off the top. Off. There. I'm going to clean up a little. They make strong arms to help with centering and opening, help with working with bigger amounts of clay. This is like a mini strong arm. I'm holding it against the edge to take off any bumps to help center it. Here we go. I'm making such a mess. I thought this is so small. It'll be fine. I can do this in house. No, I'm not going to do this again in my living room. just like throwing on a bigger wheel. You want it fast for centering. How fast will it go? Wow, it'll go fast. Maybe. Okay, we're gonna call that centered. I think that's centered. Throw a cylinder first. What does it want to be? I want to make some vases. Little tall vases. Let's try. Nope. I took it. Yeah. Oh. Just don't. No. That didn't stick. No, no, no. Wobbly, 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 wobbly. Kind of looks cool, doesn't it? This one's definitely more centered. I think opening with the finger was better. It was there's still a bump in it, like inside the clay. I'm going to take it out. Probably just a little harder bit. I don't want to mess with it. And I have enough clay here, I think. I had this idea for the foot. If I can carve a little foot, I could hold on to it to glaze these babies. That's gonna do. That's gonna do just like that. Let me hold it. Cute. Definitely getting easier to center the clay. It took a good, I have 4 pots over there and probably 4 failures, 3 or 4 failures. Yep. Or maybe I was just lucky. Sometimes I'm closing my eyes or just looking off, not looking directly at the clay to feel if it's centered or not, or even throwing. Sometimes it helps just to go by feel and not your eyes. Yay! 5 little pots. These were my first attempts at my first tiny pots on my new tiny wheel. Some of these are wonky. What do we say now? Wabi-sabi. I do want to improve my skills before I demonstrate tiny pots in person. My wheel is the classic small pottery wheel from Small Ceramics in the UK. I like supporting a small artist-run business. This wheel is 3D printed. It has a magnetic splash pan that separates really easily for cleaning. Nice design. It has enough power to be a functional little wheel. I'm happy with my purchase. However, I would not buy this wheel again because Small Ceramics is in production of a new Small Ceramics wheel. They're working with manufacturers now. This new wheel will have a little bit larger wheel head. It will not be 3D printed. It will have a more supportive rubber base, and most importantly, it's rechargeable. That would be so great for me when I'm out and about to not have to worry about finding an outlet. So for now, I'll carry an extension cord. Maybe someday I'll have 2 small wheels. This wheel, it's not a toy. You can buy toy wheels, but really they don't have enough power to do much at all. If you're a kid and you want to learn, you can start with air dry clay, or adults can do air dry clay. But, you know, work with your hands, take a class. In so many ways, this small wheel is harder to throw on than the big wheel, and I knew that would be the case. It's just hard. It's so fiddly, and I like fiddly things sometimes, but it's hard to center a really small amount of clay. So it's a novelty item. It's going to be great to take on the road, and yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be well received. and people will be interested in it. And that's what we want to do as artists. I want to bring people in and show them what I do, show them what we do as creatives, and help people find ways to be creative themselves. So take a pottery class, learn how to throw on a big wheel, and then get you a little wheel. Thank you.
What if you get lost and you're taking this on video? If you get lost, it's going to be on video.